afternoon, everybody, and a very, very warm welcome. And it is a delight to welcome you all here today, and James and Holly, together with all friends and family, have come to St Michael's Church to celebrate their marriage.
Yes, I'll marry you, my dear, and here's the reason why. So I can push you out of bed when the baby starts to cry. And if we hear a knocking, and it's creepy and it's late, I hand you the torch, you see, and you investigate. Yes, I'll marry you, my dear. You may not apprehend it, but when the tumble dryer goes, it's you that has to mend it. And when we play a round of golf, the competition's so fierce, but as it's me that usually wins, it's you who gets the beers. Yes, I'll marry you, my dear. You're noble and you're true, and creative in the kitchen, so you can cook the dinner too. You have to face the neighbour should our Labrador attack him, and if a drunkard pesters me, it's you that has to whack him. It's you who reads the small print and keeps us legally on track, and when I come home stressed, it's you who gets the flack. I do see great advantages, but none of them for you. And so before you see the light, I do.
Delighted to welcome James into our family. Relax, James. I'll make all the mistakes. And it's very pleasing that both families are good friends. And we feel fortunate that Holly has chosen James, as Bob and I think he's a great guy. I remember saying to Holly, I wish I could freeze you, doll. And she said, just why? And I said, well, I don't want you to grow up. And she said, don't be daft, Dad. So, reflecting on the past, we had some great times together, didn't we, doll? We had some fun, tremendous. But now, having known James for 11 years, relax, James. We know there are many great times ahead.
Well, I couldn't let today go by without saying a few words. Holly was gifted to us at a later stage of our lives. We only ever wanted three things for Holly: for her to be happy, for someone to treasure her, and a family to love her as much as we do. And today, my three wishes have come true.
I, James, take you, Holly,
To be my wife.
to be my wife,
To have and to hold.
to have and to hold,
From this day forward.
from this day forward,
For better, for worse.
for better, for worse,
for richer, for poorer,
for richer, for poorer,
in sickness and in health,
in sickness and in health,
to love and to cherish,
to love and to cherish,
till death us do part,
till death us do part,
according to God's holy law.
according to God's holy law.
In the presence of God, I make this vow.
In the presence of God, I make this vow.
I, Holly, take you, James,
I, Holly, take you, James,
to be my husband,
to be my husband,
to have and to hold,
to have and to hold,
from this day forward,
from this day forward,
for better, for worse,
for better, for worse,
for richer, for poorer,
for richer, for poorer,
in sickness and in health,
in sickness and in health,
to love and to cherish,
to love and to cherish,
till death us do part,
till death us do part,
according to God's holy law.
according to God's holy law.
In the presence of God, I make this vow.
In the presence of God, I make this vow.
In the presence of God and before this congregation, James and Holly have given their consent and made their marriage vows to each other. They have declared their marriage by the joining of hands and by the giving and receiving of rings. I therefore proclaim that they are husband and wife together. Those whom God has joined together, let no one put asunder. James, you may kiss your...
I've been lucky enough to know James and Holly since they got together at university, and I don't think it's an exaggeration to say that I can't think of two people that are more perfectly matched. They love the same things, they have the same interests, they share all the same friends, and it's a real privilege to stand up here and say I just wish you the best and have a fantastic marriage. And I think the only thing that would be right to end on before we toast is just to say that one thing you can say about Holly and James: they've always had, and they always will have, chemistry.
And now, to the most important person here, the new Mrs. Ball, my wife. Holly absolutely hates this line, particularly when you just read it out like this, but Holly, you look absolutely amazing today. Holly and I have known each other now for 13 years. And we've been together for 11 of those. Holly and I, as you will already know, met at the University of Nottingham, where we both studied chemistry. As fate would have it, Holly and I were paired together to do an analytical chemistry module. But unfortunately for me, Holly had a long-term boyfriend back in the Wirral, and she reminded me of that fact as often as she could. There was one particular time, I remember, we were sat on Holly's bed, side by side, working, and he phoned up, and Holly took the call, and it was clear from the tone of his voice, I could hear it, that he wasn't happy about the fact that I was sat next to Holly on her bed. And I can remember what she said, because it crushed me. She said, "You've this to her ex, you've absolutely nothing to worry about with James." But we worked quite closely on that project, and we became not that close, Jesus. And we became very good friends. I laughed more with Holly than I'd ever laughed with anyone before. We became lab partners. We synthesised drugs together, paracetamol, of course, and we just clicked. And I began driving Holly home from university each day. And like that scene from Love Actually with Colin Firth, driving Holly home at the end of the day was the best part of my day. And her getting out was the worst.
I never wanted to get out. I always hated it.
But I've always known Holly and I were meant to be together. There was the fact that Caroline used to call Holly Holly Ball since before we even met, which the first time I heard that was a bit scary. But by far the most remarkable is the fact that when I first introduced Holly to my mum and dad in 2007, I said, "Mum and Dad, this is Holly Peace," and my dad said, "Peace, that's an unusual surname." And we followed him into my dad's study, and he was sifting through hundreds of old business cards which he'd collected over the years, and he pulled one out which said Fred Peace, Peace Packaging. And remarkably, Fred had been round to this house and met my dad before Holly and I were even born. And it's amazing that both families are here 31 years later to see the daughter and son get married. Holly, you are quite simply the love of my life. Everything we've accomplished over the last 11 years, we've accomplished together. A team of two since the very beginning. You brighten up my life each day like a little ray of sunshine. We've gone from sharing glances over the lecture theatre to, as of today, sharing the rest of our lives together. They say the strongest bond in the universe is that between two nitrogen atoms. Back to the chemistry. Well, as of today, I think it's the bond between you and I.